Inclusive education is an approach that should be demonstrated by all schools. The approach ensures students with a disability and all students are educated within a general and normal classroom setting. It also ensures all students receive the same rights in terms of education. Many resources can assist schools in promoting an inclusive education. A resource that has been created to assist schools in promoting an inclusive education includes an information brochure for parents and guardians. The brochure aims to educate parents and guardians on what inclusive education is, what it looks like, how parents can encourage it at home, how students can demonstrate it in the classroom and around the school grounds, and what the teacher does in the classroom to promote it. On the first page of the brochure, a definition of inclusive education is given, information about the social and emotional well-being of students with a disability, and information on the Melbourne Declaration on Educational Goals for Young Australians and the Disability Discrimination Act. On the second page of the brochure, parents can gain an insight of what an inclusive education school looks like and how they as parents and guardians can encourage inclusive education at home. On the third page of the brochure, parents and guardians understand what the teacher does in the classroom to promote inclusive education and ensure all students have the same rights and are treated equally and fairly, as well as understanding how students demonstrate inclusive education in the classroom. On the back page of the brochure, there is a quote from Dr. Seuss about succeeding. The quote was put there in an attempt to gain interest from the student. On the other back page is information about how inclusive education can benefit all students. Many parents and guardians may find it difficult to understand inclusive education and why the teacher is demonstrating it in his or her classroom. Parents and guardians must become aware of inclusive education before they can begin to accept it. The brochure will be sent to parents and guardians in the mail to ensure they receive it. If it was not sent in the mail and was given to the students, the teacher would be unaware as to whether or not the brochure was received by parents and guardians. Anyone who reads the brochure should be encouraged to share the information they have learnt. The more people that are aware of inclusive education means the more schools that will demonstrate it. The resource can be seen as inclusive as it speaks about students with disabilities and students without disabilities. Often in a classroom, the students with disabilities are forgotten about because they are too disruptive, so they get ignored, or the students without disabilities are forgotten about because the teachers are too busy trying to cater for the students with disabilities. The brochure aims to show parents that in the classroom, all students will be catered for and heard. Students' social and emotional well-being will improve as they will be encouraged to stay in their normal classroom rather than be removed for learning support. When students with a disability are taught in a normal setting, their social and emotional well-being has shown to improve. Students do not like being removed from their classroom where all their friends are to go and learn. Being removed from the class can leave students feeling humiliated, isolated, lonely, sad, doubtful, confused, and anxious. When parents and guardians are aware of the rights of their child and how staying in their everyday classroom is beneficial to them, they will not want their child to be removed. This means that less children with a disability will be removed from their normal everyday classroom to learn and therefore improving their social and emotional well-being. Teaching students with a disability in their everyday classroom will also improve the social and emotional well-being of all the other students. Students with a disability bring strengths to the classroom that other students can benefit from. For example, Armstrong writes about Isabel. Isabel is a student with autism. The teacher in her class states that Isabel has not only introduced diversity to the class, she has also made the other students less selfish. When Isabel is absent from school, the other students in the class seem to be more competitive with each other. However, when Isabel returns, they are more giving and understanding as Isabel sends a message to the students that they all need to help each other out in life. This shows that keeping students with a disability in their normal, everyday classroom is beneficial to all students and improves all students' social and emotional well-being. The brochure is supported by 2 of the 7 principles from Hyde, Carpenter, and Conway. The 2 principles that are reflected in this resource include valuing diversity and collaborating for better outcomes. Valuing diversity refers to all levels of the system value diversity and operate within an inclusive framework. Collaborating for better outcomes refers to services that are supported by collaborative models and partnerships are provided. This resource was made in relation to these principles because without valuing diversity, there can be no inclusive education, and without collaborating with parents, guardians, other teachers, the principal, and the wider community, inclusive education is a hard approach to achieve. Valuing diversity plays a huge role in demonstrating inclusive education. If a school, a teacher, a parent, or a principal do not value diversity, inclusive education will be impossible within that school. The resource is anticipated to assist parents in learning to value diversity. By collaborating with parents and guardians, a strong relationship is being built between the teacher and the parents and guardians. Martin states that in order to establish a constructive and positive connection with parents and guardians, open communication is vital. This is why the resource was created. The resource was an easy way to distribute information to parents and guardians. It can be seen that this resource is an easy way to assist parents in valuing diversity and understanding what inclusive education is, how it can benefit their child, and how inclusive education is put into practice.